conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Miller, the lone setback. He is going to lose yardage here. Losing 4. It's 4th down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The play clock's running down on 2nd down. Langford. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Minimal gain, and let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Cutler. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. It'll be a gain of 6, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys in the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very screws now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Throwing here, Cutler going for the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It wasn't 3rd and long. It was more like 3rd and attainable. And oftentimes, offense just want to run enough to pick up a first down. But I think they wanted a break tendency there. Catch the defense playing for the short pass and push it downfield, and they almost collected a big play.
NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They'll run for it. Langford. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Now Osweiler on 1st down. Completes this one to Cecil Shorts. Touchdown, Houston. Cecil Shorts, 38 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead. And for Brock Osweiler, the quarterback, of course, he arrived from Denver in the offseason. His first touchdown pass in a Houston Texan uniform.
And to me, that's the payoff for him becoming fully immersed with Houston as soon as he signed the contract. Couldn't wait to get the playbook, couldn't wait to get started. In fact, he turned down a White House visit with his old Denver teammates to pick up their Super Bowl rings to stay with Houston in the offseason and work with his receivers. I love what he's doing.
Defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. A great job last time. They got the 4th down stop. It led to points. See if they can make magic happen twice.
How about the defense, though? You're going to go for it against us on your own side of the field, rose up and stopped them, went off the field and said, offense, take over, put it in the end zone for us. And that's exactly what they did.
Puts a little chip on their shoulder when that happens, right?
Yeah, a lot of meanness involved in that.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled.
Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Bears defense gearing up as they take the field. Now, last time out, they gave up the touchdown. Here, though, this defense in prime position.
This gives them a chance to go ahead and take the last possession and throw it away. Not even worry about it anymore. They can be in attack mode now. They can be the ones who can change this game and change field position and give their offense a great opportunity.
You mean attack mode by what they call here defensively?
Exactly. Great spot to have the offense pinned back. Don't let them out, and maybe pressure advantage.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. On second down, Osweiler. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, DeAndre Hopkins from 13 yards out. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. We know about his arm strength. We're all impressed. We can't help but be when he fires one. But that overthrow there, that's the thing we think that may be preventing him from being in the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Just the overall accuracy.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Overall accuracy and really lack of success in the playoffs. So for Jay Cutler, continuing to fire, trying to find a way to win more games.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Off the play fake to Langford. It's Cutler. Completion left down. Chicago. Zach Miller, 48 yards. And the Bears draw a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Penalty marker is down here. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Throwing now, Osweiler on first down. Shorts has got it. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
He was trying to get it to Cecil Shorts that time, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Osweiler. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 3rd down, Osweiler setting up the screen for Miller. And some room to roam now. And he's brought down after a good gain. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. And there's a flag on the field inside the 30.
Holding offense. Still first down.
Following the flag, 1st and 20 now. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Throwing, Osweiler. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. 33 yards. And now a 1st down following that long gain. Shift together here from the D-line. From the red zone now, here's Osweiler on 1st down. And there's a flag on the play. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Holding offense. Still first down.
He really backs up the offense here on 1st down. Now 20 yards to go. Again, Osweiler. And he comes back with one complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Here's Osweiler. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Luke Wilson as the first half is winding down. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing now, Cutler on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
The slot man in motion right. Final play of the half. It's Cutler. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw is Osweiler. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
False start, offense. Still third down.
And the offense in that middle ground here on third down. 5 yards to go. From the gun, it's Osweiler. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. On first down, it's Cutler. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now Cutler to throw on second down. Stays on his feet. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
This is Langford on first and 10. And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this third quarter of play. We are through three quarters. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. And on second and 10 now. A fake to Langford. Now Cutler. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts him in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. Is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Surveying the field. Shorts on the reception over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That was good for 16, and the drive will continue. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try to run for it with Miller. He juked him, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston.